Hi all, my name's Sophie and I'm here to talk to you today about adapting performances from on stage to the screen, specifically how we'll be using Zoom to create backdrops for scenes. Now, for many, the use of tech in this way may be unfamiliar, and the idea of ploughing through all those settings becomes a bit daunting. But whether you're a complete newbie or just refreshing your memory, this video should help to clear up the basics of adding your own backgrounds to your Zoom. So this video will cover a short introduction on how backgrounds work, an explanation of green screens, and a walkthrough showing how to upload and select your chosen backgrounds. So let's begin. Adding a background is a simple process once you have the hang of it. It's an effect built into the program Zoom and works by detecting your current background and replacing it with an image downloaded onto the device you're filming from. This could be a static image or video, although we'll only be using photos in our productions. This should be provided to you per production. I'll just use some generic images to demonstrate with today. As you may notice, as I move around, the computer is not always great at distinguishing the difference between you and the room behind you, and can lead to blurred edges and disappearing limbs, as an example. This software isn't exactly professional, so we will never be perfect, but there are some ways of improving the quality of your image. Lighting can be very important, and some experimenting with the light that falls on both you and the background can help to define your silhouette. Another important tool to utilise is the green screen. Now, the green screen is one of the most basic tools of CGI and has been used on our screens for years to produce background effects. A common example would be the weather maps presented on the news, large screens of uniform colours that have images superimposed onto them. For our purposes, the screen does not necessarily need to be green, as long as the fabric behind you is a smooth, uniform colour. However, green works best, as it's uncommon in clothing and will contrast well with your outline, creating a sharper image. When setting up your green screen, find a large area of wall or a sturdy stand to hang your fabric behind you. Your webcam or computer should be set up directly opposite. Ensure that the fabric is smooth and without creases so we can avoid shadows, and that it's well secured. It wouldn't do to have your background sag mid-performance. Use your Zoom video to position your screen to fill your entire background. If you don't have a green screen, find a plain wall in a well-lit area instead, if possible. Now we should be ready to set up our backgrounds. So before we begin, the first step is to ensure that all the backgrounds you wish to use are uploaded onto your computer, located in an easily found file. This will save you time later if all your images are in the same place and easy to find. I'll now direct your attention to my mouse pointer, here, so you can follow with me as I explain the settings. I'm currently using Zoom app for Windows. If you're using a different device, then the location of some of these buttons may be slightly different, but they should be labelled the same. So, I'm already in a meeting here, though it's just me today. These settings can also be accessed from the home screen. If I go here. So, you can find these settings by selecting this small wheel at the top, and open it will bring up the general settings, and the backgrounds can be accessed from here. But from the meeting screen, the settings are accessed by going down to this small button here, clicking on this small arrow next to the toggle button for starting and stopping your video. Clicking this will bring up a small list, and by clicking the Choose Virtual Background option, you'll open this settings window. So from this screen, you should be able to see along the side here, you have a list of settings which you can use to adjust audio and video, etc. But we'll just focus on this side today, here. Here we have a screen to show you the selected effect. This will not switch your video on for the meeting, so you can change backgrounds with your camera off, no problem, and this screen will still show. Below that you can see two tabs, Virtual Backgrounds and Video Filters. Virtual backgrounds should be selected already, and it's all we're going to be using today. But feel free to experiment with the video filters later if you like, it's a lot of fun. On this background tab, a selection of images are presented below. These are your available backgrounds. At the moment, you may only have the default images here, which would be these 5. By selecting these images, you should be able to change which background is showing at that moment. However, these 5 won't be enough for in a theatre production, so we will need to add some more. So I'll show you how to upload more now. So to do this, you just need to select this small plus sign at the top right of the images. Clicking it will present you two options, add image or add video. We want add image. This will open up a file explorer. As you can see, you can navigate to the folder that you have your backgrounds in. This is mine here. You can select it and it will give you the option of the images you can choose from. Select the image you want to upload, then either double click, or you can also click open down here. Both will bring it up and will add the image to the list at the bottom here. It will also automatically put your image as the background of your current video. Repeat this for all your required images. So I'll just show you one more time, add image, and then this is my last one here. There we go. These will remain on your list for future meetings as long as you're signed in to your Zoom account. Don't like an image? Hovering over an image will show you a small cross in the upper right hand corner. Clicking this will remove the background from your list, like so. Don't worry, it doesn't permanently delete them, they'll still be on your computer somewhere, and if you wish to re-upload them, you can follow the same process again. Hovering over the image will also reveal the file name, which can help you identify which image you need at what time. I would recommend uploading all your images in scene order, so it'll be easier to navigate through. Finally, I'll just explain these two options at the bottom of the screen. Let me just move the box up here. So these two options here. The first says, I have a green screen, and will by default be unchecked. Clicking it will tell Zoom to automatically search for the most common colour in your background and replace it with the image chosen. This can help improve your image quality, although depending on your background, it may make it worse. If you're finding that the software is picking up the wrong colours, you can select this small box here, and then using this crosshair that appears on your video screen here, you can select the correct colour and it will try and pick that up instead. Obviously this isn't working for mine because I haven't actually got a green screen set up. So it may be better, it may be worse. If this works better for you, then great. If it doesn't, then that's fine too. If you find that your background is fuzzy or it's picking up odd areas like here at any point, just try toggling that option on and off, and that may fix the problems. The last checkbox is to mirror your video, and this mirrors everything in your screen, including the background, to make it easier for you to view. As in, if you raise your right arm, you'll see your right arm lift as though you're looking into a mirror. Unchecking it will show you what the camera is picking up. It's best to actually keep this checked, because otherwise it'll probably mess with your head a little bit to decide what limb you're moving at what time. So this option just mostly shows what the camera is sending and showing to the rest of the people in your meeting, and it's best just for checking for that. So don't worry if you have any text or anything that looks like it's reversed or your background's the wrong way around, because it will be flipped when it's viewed by the other people in the meeting. Alright, so that's how a background can be added to Zoom. Hopefully that covers the basics for uploading your images and setting them as your backdrop. Now the best thing for you to do is to practice until this is smooth and ready for a performance. Feel free to get in touch if there are any questions you still have. For each digital performance there will be a dedicated tech session as well to help you figure out any individual issues, so don't worry if there are still some points you don't understand. But for now, I'll leave you with a good luck and break a leg for your next digital performance.